Welcome back. It is frustrating to get hurt at work or to have a disability that makes it impossible to do your job. So what should you do in order to get the benefits you deserve? You need to ask for help because legal issues, of course, can be super complicated. Alex Eichhorn and Lauren Zwirlein are attorneys and partners at Tabak Law, and they're here with more on Social Security disability benefits as well as workers' comp. Great to see both of you.
Hi. Thank you for having us.
Absolutely. Let's talk a little bit about how Tabak Law is able to increase someone's odds, because this is a good thing for people to get the benefits they deserve, of someone being approved first for Social Security benefits. And I guess one of the first questions I have is this age specific? Because we think of Social Security as being something for people 65 and older.
Sure. So our law firm specializes in helping disabled individuals. That ranges from children. We've helped young children, whether it be because of ADHD or many different conditions, receive disability, all the way through elderly individuals. I mean, we've had clients from 3 years old to 90 years old. So no, there's no age specifications for disability. So in regards to that, we help all age individuals.
Okay, so if somebody's eligible for Social Security disability, what does that mean? They probably have to be certified as being disabled, right?
Sure. So what our law firm does is we have a very streamlined process. We receive an intake call, or we reach out to an individual who's contacted our office for an evaluation, and we do approximately a 10-minute evaluation, 15-minute evaluation to determine eligibility. Based upon this conversation, we follow up with them and have them do a more in-depth, or have an in-depth conversation with them regarding their impairments that they believe are causing their disability and their financial means, because in disability there's two separate programs. So there's Title II and Title 16, one of which requires limited assets and the other just requires work history. So we make a determination of whether or not someone's eligible for either Title 16 or Title II or a concurrent claim, and then we go ahead and process that claim. So as far as disability requirements go, if you're unable to work due to any disability or injury, we would love for you to contact our office. We are willing to do a free consultation, and in fact our services are free unless we're able to help you. So it can be a great way to help individuals, and really that's what our law firm focuses on. We want to help people receive the benefits and get back on their feet.
That's wonderful, the way that you do your compensation structure, so that if you can't help someone, your services don't cost them anything, because I think people are already in a difficult situation if they're unable to work. So I think that's great. What's your success rate when you compare, say, someone who's represented by Tabak Law to someone who doesn't have legal representation?
Yeah, we're definitely above the average for that. And, you know, I think the big thing when dealing with Social Security is it's just sort of a long, scary process. So having someone there every step of the way, making sure paperwork is filed on time, making sure that doctor's reports are obtained, and, you know, just making sure that they're doing all the right things the whole way through, because it can take a long time, you know, and you want to make sure nothing gets missed.
And it's complicated, and I think people are afraid of, of processes that are complicated, or issues or matters that you don't understand, and also dealing with a lot of paperwork. What advice would you give to someone who finds himself, who's watching, and or loves someone who's unable to work because of a disability or an injury that they've had?
Well, and I think that really is a great part of our law firm. As I stated, our law firm does not get paid, and that's the reason why we do an in-depth conversation. We really want to get to know who you are, and we want to become a team. This is a team mentality. We don't charge you unless we are able to win. So your success is our ultimate goal, because that is how we remain as a law firm. So I really try to foster the team mentality with all of my clients, and whether it be working together to get the reports from doctors, or whether it be following up with different physicians or therapists to really try to determine what is going on, how to help them along their path to get better, and to, again, get the reports and documentation to improve their likelihood towards success.
Do you know how many clients your office has helped with these particular types of benefits?
Many thousands of clients, and a lot of times we find too that when people are dealing with Social Security, other things come up, like they had a car accident in the past or a work injury, things like that, and long-term, short-term disability through an employer or a private plan that they may have purchased. So, you know, we also do cases like that as well. So, you know, we're kind of a full-service firm in that way. So
Well, you bring up an interesting point that in looking or examining one particular issue that someone brings to your attention, you might find things in examining the records that also might bring them the benefits that they deserve.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, sometimes people don't know what resources are out there, and that's why we're here. You know, there are a lot of other benefits and also just resources when you're dealing with somebody without a job, they don't have income, you know, what other providers or help is out there so that they can get through that tough time.
I would think there would be a lot of circumstances where someone would at least need to make a phone call and find out what their options are, what benefits, like you said, might be available to them that they don't even know about. And again, that consultation is absolutely free, which is wonderful, and people do not pay for your services unless you win, which is fantastic. So again, it is a free, risk-free, no obligation disability and workers' compensation case evaluation that we're talking about at Tabak Law. You can call them at the phone number that you see there on your screen. It's 414-351-4400. Their offices are located on North Green Bay Avenue. And you can also visit them online to find out more by going to Tabak, it's T-A-B-A-K, attorneys.com. Thank you so much, you guys. I appreciate it.